So to continue with our series of small, compact games that fit in a book bag, as I mentioned recently, Carl and I, we're on the road 150, 180 days a year, and we're constantly looking for games that really scratch a good itch in the compact but filling, fulfilled game type of genre, right? And that's not always a huge genre, of course. So when I saw Undermine on Kickstarter, we wanted to try it. It build itself as a worker placement card game. Now the question is, does it serve that purpose? Does it really feel like a worker placement card game? Because if you know anything about us or our style, worker placement is absolutely my favorite style of game. Hands down, especially engine building ones, right? I mean, you look at the shelf over here, most of these games have some sort of worker placement aspect to them. Maybe that's a testament to the industry right now. Maybe that's a testament to my style. But those are my favorite types of games, are worker placement games in which you build this engine and it just roars to life and does wonderful things. So naturally, when I saw Undermine build itself as a card game, worker placement game, I was interested because it's small, it's compact. So let's take a look right now and see if Undermine does what it says it does right now. So this is the basic setup right here. Everyone gets 2 diamonds, which are these 2 bedazzled cubes or tokens from the Kickstarter version that are silver or white looking, you know. The iron are black, gold are goldish looking, and copper are copper looking. They're really hard to tell those two apart when sitting amongst each other, but not so bad when they're separated. These are miners. We'll talk about what those do in a minute. Basically, on your turn, there are 2 phases. There's the player turns and the collection phase. On the player turn, you'll take your diamonds and invest in up to 2 of the actions down here. Some of them require you to place 2 diamonds on them for them to work. Some of them require just 1. Ignore the bottoms of the card. That's if you're playing with multiple people. Again, it is primarily a 2-player game. One player will sit here, the other player will sit on the other side. So let's just say I want the first player marker. I would then take this. I become the first player marker. In any worker placement game, you know it's important to have that first pick. If I place 2 diamonds here, I would get a miner. We'll talk about what miners do in just a minute. Place 2 mineral tokens here to collect 1 diamond. So eventually you'll get these minerals, which we'll talk about how to get those in a minute. Again, that would be gold, iron, and copper. You place 2 of those here in order to get a diamond. Now, in the collection phase, everyone's going to get a diamond anyway, so you'll at least have 1 for the next round. You can place your miners here to draw a gallery card. Gallery cards are things like this, and we'll talk about exactly what these do in just a little bit. Right now. Then the other actions would place a diamond to draw an opportunity card. So you place 1 of your diamonds here to draw an opportunity card. These are things like remove an opponent's miner from the game. That's dirty. Collect 1 copper. These are one-time use cards. These are things you can write in yourself. Recruit a miner. Collect an iron. Make 3 investments for 1 turn. Steal 1 diamond from an opponent. More write-ins. Draw an equipment card. Draw an opportunity card from an opponent. Collect a gold, or collect 2 diamonds. So they're just little things that give you a quick perk. Next would be the place 1 diamond, collect 2 diamonds. So this is basically a net gain of 1. By placing 1, you get 2 back during the collection phase. So in that collection phase, you're actually going to take 3 back. Pretty neat. I may have said that wrong. It might be a net gain of 2, but I think it's a net gain of 1, yeah. Then the last one is place 2 diamonds to get an equipment card. Now the equipment cards are how you win the game. So you get these into your hand, these equipment cards. They're things like processing plant. Collect 2 diamonds instead of 1 every collection phase. Once you've played this, that'll be something else like a little perk you get. Collect 2 diamonds instead of 1. To build this, it costs you 2 copper and 1 iron, as you can see based on the cost down here. When you can play any of these 3 types of card is during the player turn phase. You actually don't, you would get to draw some later. You cannot draw them in the player turn phase. You can only draw them during that phase. But there's different things like processing plant. This is magnetic separator. Your equipment costs -1 iron, so that's pretty neat. The victory points it's worth is down in the bottom right. They're all different cards here with all different costs. Your opponent receives no iron, gold, or copper this collection phase, so it's kind of a one-time deal there. Some of them are worth just victory points, but the idea is during the player turn phase, you would have to pay these costs to play them down. Same thing with the gallery. These cards basically allow you to get an extra action on your side of the board. So now you would have a spot on your side of the board where you could put a miner here and collect a mineral. So if you went here during the collection phase, you would also get a mineral of your choice. That's why it's blacked out like that. The opportunity cards also can be played during the player turn phase. Now during the collection phase, depending on where you are and what you've gotten out there, you'll take certain things. Let's just say that this is what we have out this time. So we've already got our gallery card. Let's do it here, actually. So this is what we'll do. We've played these two out here. You could actually play another one. Let's just place it here and take the first player marker. Everybody wraps up. They place their diamonds out there. And then you will take everything you've put your stuff on. And the reason there's a slash here in the middle is because you would put it on your side of the card to know whose action is. So for me, on this side of the board, I would put mine here on this side. If you were playing that side, you put it there. Still blocks it off. The two, obviously, that doesn't matter. So during the collection phase, I'll get the first player marker. I will place a diamond, so I'll get to draw an opportunity card during the collection phase. I'll get my diamond that I already get from the collection phase. Cannot play this now until the player turn phase. Then I will also get a mineral of my choice because I already have, let's just say I have this card in my hand. I need one of each. It doesn't matter. I'll just take one of each at that point. The game ends when somebody has 7 points worth of equipment cards. So however you do that, first person to get 7 points of the equipment cards, they win the game. And that is how you play Undermine, just like that. So I guess the word you could say was underwhelmed. Now I know that's a pun, and I clearly have been thinking about that all day, trying to fit that pun in there. But it's not the worst game in the world. Undermine is not. It's not the greatest game either, and it's mediocre at best because it doesn't have any really theme to it. I mean, it purports to have a theme, obviously, with the whole mining sort of theme, but it just really isn't there. It's just kind of, I think it's there for a cute word, you know, because it could have been anything. You could have gotten 2 pieces of bacon to get an order of breakfast or something at the Waffle House. It could be a cook game. It doesn't matter. It could be anything. So the theme is not as important with this one. But I think that hurt it a little bit because I feel like you don't actually feel like you're doing anything. You're trading in this disc onto this card to get more of these discs. And when you get more of these discs, you can get this other type of disc or Mega Man bad guy hard hat, metals or whatever they're called. You can get one of those to trade in to get a different kind of thing to get points. And by the time someone gets 7 of those, whoever has the most points wins the game. Well, it's just, I don't feel like you're doing a whole lot. It feels like it's just a little dry to be what it is. You know, I love a good worker placement game in which you're really doing stuff and trading up and moving things around. We just played Agra. That's a fantastic example. Will Agra fit in a book bag? Absolutely not. But there has to be somewhere a game that is small and compact and worker placement, still engine building, still all that stuff that really fits that itch. And I just haven't seen it yet. Fits that niche, and I just haven't seen it yet. And I wish this would do it because this looked really cool. It had a lot of promise. The idea that the board is cards, so it all packs down into this versus having a board that you unlay. And we can play this at airports and things like that, which it still is good for that. It's just not as fun as I thought it was going to be. So that's the unfortunate side effect of Undermine right there. Is just a little bit underwhelming in what it is and what you can do and what you can't do in the game. So that's Undermine. That's the review here. You know, the mechanics I probably had the most problem with would be the fact that, again, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything. On your turn, you're just placing tokens out, and so there's only a few options, and when you eliminate a spot, somebody else can't go there, so it's a little bit more cutthroat than I like. To get more workers, to put more workers out, to get a different type of worker, and it's just, again, it doesn't feel like you're doing what it says you're doing. It doesn't feel like you're mining. It doesn't feel like you're opening up a gallery, displaying gems to get points. It just doesn't feel like that. So that is Undermine. Again, I'm Bryan Drake with the latest retro. Make sure to stay tuned here on the Dice Tower for more videos. We will see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.